I'd like to get to know you, but it's been a while. They say I'm crazy, but it's just my style. What am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you. Every day and every night, I wonder what you're thinking. If you're feeling alright, what am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you. I'd like to get to know your mama, temperature, yeah. Well, don't you know I love you? I got me feeling so great. What am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you. It's hard to keep from thinking when we've been estranged. Oh, don't you know I love you? Got me feeling so strange. What am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you. Like to get to know your mama, temperature, yeah. Well, don't you know I love you? I got you feeling so great. What am I supposed to do?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the podcast. And give yourselves a big round of applause on a fine crypto day such as this. The podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door. Talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know, I've had a fantastic day. It was wonderfully productive. How about yourself?
I had a great day. I caught the albatross. I finally got it, knocked it out. We're ready. We are ready to advance now, and I thought it was a very good day. Here at the podcast, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about, and that is absolutely the truth. Bringing the focus on the use case cryptos, because as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable. It's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to the podcast. And again, give yourselves, the survivors, a second round of applause. It's been an interesting crypto day. We are not using Restream tonight. It turns out that Amazon Web Services is having an outage, and I don't know if it's East Coast or West Coast. I work these sites. I don't do Amazon anymore. I work primarily Microsoft, but there's a problem. So because they are having an outage and the majority of the world uses Amazon Web Services, guess what? We can't use Restream tonight. It simply won't work. Amazon is down. This is centralization. This is what's coming at you, folks. Just get used to it. So if only there was an alternative, Belle. If only there was something that could be done so that if a single little nub right here goes down, that it doesn't wipe out half of the West Coast or half of the East Coast and doesn't wipe out every single app that it happens to be functioning through these providers. If only there was something we could do about this, Belle. But unfortunately, guys, there isn't. Therefore, there is no Restream. We are just going to YouTube until I guess YouTube has an outage, and then I don't know. We'll end up somewhere else. We'll go stream to a cache or something like that. But today was an interesting day. There's you know what? This is Binance. I'm just going to say it right now. This is Binance. Look, it's pretty clear that Binance is, at least Binance, probably Coinbase, a couple of the other exchanges. It's pretty clear that they're dumping Bitcoin. I mean, they are letting Bitcoin go. They're likely swapping it for USDC. They're taking that USDC back to their own exchanges, and they're shoring up their tokens. For Binance, it would be BNB. They're getting real dangerously close. I haven't even looked. Let me see where they're at right now. But they're getting dangerously close to that $220 cliff. And if they hit it, man, that's it. I mean, that's a problem. So, yeah, currently they're sitting at 241. They're up 4% when the rest of the entire market is effectively down, with the exception of the meme coins. But aside from that, BNB is about the only one that's up. So, yeah, I want to say that they're one of the culprits. There's at least a few, or at least a couple, but they are definitely one of them. I haven't looked at Coinbase's stock. I didn't see how that did today, but they probably got a little bit of monkeying going around in there. They can't. BNB can't hit 220. If it hits 220, that's it. All right, that's it for BNB. They're done. If BNB goes, crypto goes, and that's it. So, is it market manipulation? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100% hands down market manipulation. But it was asked, and the Binance folks, CZ, he came out and said, "Nah, we ain't doing nothing. No, everything's cool. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. People are just loving BNB right now. That's why everybody's buying it. That's why it's up when the rest of the market is basically tits up." We had good news today. The CPI came out, and the CPI came out at 4%. All right, it was anticipated to be 4.1. So not only was that a monstrous drop, but it was exceeded. It went from 4.9 down to 4. That is a monstrous drop. That is a huge drop, and it basically it's indicating that the Feds, they're having their meeting today and tomorrow, and they're going to pause rates. I'm going to go look into the podcast crystal ball right now and say that they're going to pause rates. Why would they continue to raise interest rates when it's falling off, when 30% of the data that they use to make up these numbers are they call it shelter. It's housing. Now, housing is a lagging indicator. It's a monstrously lagging indicator. So if the CPI is falling off this much and we don't have true actual usable data from housing, what do you think the number really is? There's no way they're going to pause. So we got a CPI that exceeded expectations. We are most likely looking at an interest rate pause. Everything should have boomed. That was it. That's what we were looking for. Everybody's waiting for us. Let's get this. And as soon as that was announced, Bitcoin did its little pump like it always does at 7:30 Central Time. It pumped for about 30, 60 seconds, and then it fell off, and then it just continued to fall off. It's still falling off. This thing is absolutely, just absolutely shellacked from where it should have been. This is what you're looking at on a day that had great numbers. This was a fantastic day, a great day for finance, for financials, and that's what it did. So call me skeptical. Call me a little bit. Maybe, I'll come out of my cave for a minute in here and say, no, this is screwed up. You guys are doing it. And, if nothing else, man, just fess up. But you guys are part of the reason that the SEC is looking at this shit so hard, because you just cannot stop the money games. You can't. You will borrow and leverage mystery tokens. Just nothing. You will create it like Alameda Research did, just create $5 billion worth out of nothing. Just all of a sudden you type it in, and there you go. Now we got $5 billion worth of this. And we're going to go ahead and loan that out and borrow against it and all that other stuff. And then everything just came to a screeching halt, and you seem surprised by it. It's still happening. They're doing it right now. Everything that you're seeing you should not be seeing this. Right now, the Bitcoin should have just been sailing away. Everybody's happy. Good times are coming. Let's get some money over there into crypto. Now market sentiment's going to return, and we're going to do it, but it's not happening. It's not happening because these central players that still hold most of the money are just pounding and dumping Bitcoin. They're dumping it for USDC. Anybody who wants to do a little bit of sleuthing is going to see this, and you're going to see that I'm absolutely right. They're going to take that money. They're going to dump it for USDC. They're going to take that USDC. They're going to move it back onto their own DEX. They're going to buy their own DEX token with it. They're going to buy BNB with USDC. They're going to do that and then use the BNB and leverage it off on Bitcoin to reduce the volatility of the Bitcoin. That's what they're doing. This is, it's just right there. Now, I get it. People don't want to hear this. They don't want to talk about it. This is not what you're supposed to do with crypto reporting. You're not supposed to talk about what's happening. You're supposed to talk about what you wish was happening. But we don't do that here. We talk about what is actually happening, and this should scare the hell out of you. This should absolutely scare the hell out of you. I know it's scaring the hell out of me, but there's not a lot that I can really do with my investments because of what my investments are in. Now, we're going to go ahead and carry on a little bit here during the monologue. I was just going to go right to questions and do this, but I want to carry on a little bit because I did that video this morning at like 5 a.m., man. I was terribly sleepy. And we were talking about value capture versus value extraction. Now, people should know this, and basically anybody who's out here doing crypto reporting in any way, shape, or form should absolutely know this, understand this, and they should parrot this because this is the truth. People need to know the truth. They need to have all of the information so that they can make wise investments, so that they can figure out, is this something that I want to do or something I don't want to do? You, as investors in specific products out here, you guys are not capturing value, you're extracting value. Please understand that. You are not creating anything. You are investing, looking for the greater fool so that you can sell it off. That is extracting value. You are not paying for a product that you're going to use and that you're going to pay for month after month. You could be doing that if you consider an L1 the product, but for the most part, the L1 is not the product. The L1 is also an extraction mechanism. Validators have to be paid. all of this stuff that uses electricity and internet and everything else, all of this has to be paid. It has to be paid from something, and it's paid by the tokens of the native chain. That is value extraction, because the validators are going to take the money, they're going to sell it off, probably to USDC, and they're going to be using that money and investing in things besides the very chain. How could they possibly invest in the chain that they're validating on? There are very few people who do that. The only people that you're going to see that I know for a fact who do exactly that is right here. The Podcasts, our 3 validators. We heavily invested in the chains, and we don't bleed them. We do not extract value from the chains. We continue to push investment money into them. But you really need to understand this, because the only thing I see coming down the pipe, and there's a lot of talk about it, Archway is going to change everything. Archway is not going to change anything, all right? It's another value extraction mechanism. It's all it is. We can smoke and mirrors this all day. I'd love to do smoke and mirrors, Bell. You know this is my gift to mankind, right? I will argue any side of any argument, and I will win it, because it's a skill. You don't have to be right. You just have to be persuasive, and base everything on false analogy. So I'm pretty good at that. But the same thing that has been plaguing crypto for the last 18 months is going to continue to plague crypto, because nobody seems to be pushing consumer apps. Nobody is building consumer apps. Now, consumer apps, that's value creation. What that is a product that people will pay to use, that they will pay month over month to use. That is value creation. That is legacy, external money from the chain coming in to the chain through a consumer app. That is value creation. Now, I have to ask, and I want to see a show of hands, how many of you have on your phones actual blockchain consumer apps? How many have apps on their phone? Now, we're not talking about financial apps, all right? That's not value creation. All that is pushing money around the board. That's all we do with these things. If more money, new money isn't coming in, then there is no value creation here, and all we're doing is shoving the money around. And every time we do, the app that we're doing it on, the DEX that we're doing it on, they get a little piece of it. They get a VIG every single time. So how many people, again, show of hands, actually have blockchain apps on their phone? Now, I have 2. These are 2 consumer products. I'm invested in both of these products, and I use both of these products. As a matter of fact, I pay to use these products because they're good products. But that is value creation. Now, I want you to go and look around the cosmos. Take a look around. We're cosmos people here. So take a look around at that big wide world of the cosmos and start naming me consumer apps, not L1s. We have tons of those. I can go, you want to see a trail of tears? Go to Osmosis Frontier. Just go and hit all. Look at everything. All right, how many of those are consumer apps? How many of those have consumer apps built on them? How many of these have external revenue streams? How many of these can survive without investors buying the L1 token? How many of them can do it? Now, I could save you a whole lot of looking, because it is effectively none of them. If they were, we'd be using it. We'd be showing it here on the podcast. We'd be doing all of these things. But we can't, because I can't really find them, or if they exist, they're not terribly meaningful. Now, where am I looking as an investor? Where do I think this is going to crack open? Same thing I said 2 years ago. The thing that breaks this open, games and porn. Those are the 2 things that break this open. Blockchain games and porn on blockchain. Not because I'm a huge fan of porn, but because I'm a pragmatist and I'm realistic enough to know that a lot of people are, and seem to get silly when you're talking about it, and they're willing to pay much more than they should. OnlyFans. And games. All right, because games are effectively recession-proof. Good games, doesn't matter what the state of the economy is, people will find the money to play good games. And if anybody can remember back to the original Warcraft day, any Warcraft players back in the day when they still had... it's like 16 million people were playing Warcraft, and we were all paying $15 a month to play Warcraft. All right, that is value creation. So it's a product, we pay to use it, and it's wildly successful. Didn't matter the state of the market, didn't matter what was going on. Warcraft was always there, and you could always find your $15 to pay for Warcraft. That is what we need in blockchain. That is what has to happen. So consumer apps have got to lead the way. If we continue to just build new L1s, play around with them, watch them go, watch them grow, watch them bleed, watch them die, if that is all that blockchain is going to be used for, then there's no point in having it. All right, all we're doing is pushing money around the board. We are not taking advantage of everything that blockchain can do. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at consumer apps. I'm looking at games. I'm looking at things that generate value. I haven't changed my strategy in years. And yeah, so there you go, Bill. That carried on a little bit too long, but I wanted to finish my thoughts on this. For some reason, we never discussed this. We talk about can't wait for the new L1 to launch. I'm going to buy it. It's going to go to the moon. Can't wait till people start buying Juno again. I can't wait until X, Y, and Z. And nobody ever says, I love using this app. I never hear that. Never see it in Twitter. I never see it on YouTube. I never hear people say that this is the app that you simply can't live without if you're a blockchain person. I never hear that. So if they're saying it and I'm missing it, Scott@ThePodocasts.com. Please tell me what it is, and I will certainly look into it. All right, Bell, that I talked way too long there. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns, observations?
We do have a few, actually. AHL1 starting us off with, what is this track during the pre-show?
Oh, yeah. The song is called Been Estranged, and it's by a band called MC. You can find them on Audius. And, that's actually an excellent question, because I invest in Audius, and I use Audius. Audius is one of the two blockchain apps that exist on my phone. I actually recommend it. This is something that could easily monetize. Now, they're not yet, but they could easily monetize. And if they do, man, they just revolutionize the entire music industry. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Nobody talks about it. There's a lot of volume traded with this token. And odds are good that 80% of the people who are trading this token don't even know that it's a music app. They probably most likely have no idea. It is what it is. Welcome to Crypto. Bell, please carry on.
Stephen Douglas, I'm thinking Scott has never read The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. That albatross thing doesn't work out well.
It does. All right, how about this? I'll simplify it. I hunted my white whale, and I did catch it. I did get the white whale. It's up, it's down. We'll post pictures. I'll put them in the hobby section. We cracked that nut. It's been a 10-year nut for me. And yeah, it's absolutely, it's absolutely worked out well for me. I had a good day. I lost my ass in crypto. I'm pretty sure everybody else did. Thanks, Binance. But I was able to build something that I've been trying to build for years and years and years. So that worked out great. Bell, carry on.
All right, Reverend John. Good evening, everyone. Love the vest, Scott.
I appreciate that. I have an unusual size. I can't buy off the rack to have a vest that actually fits correctly. So mine are bespoke, and boy, it's pricey. I mean, vests are not. I get mine from Mr. B's. It's a men's store here in Des Moines, and boy, they're pricey. But you know what? It's fine English wool. Thank you very much. I know they're made on the row, and I love having clothes that don't have a tag in them. There's no tag in it because it's bespoke. All right, Belle, one more, and then we got to go to break.
All right, AHL1. The SEC is going after Adam. Is it going to recover and survive?
You know what? Table that question, Bell. We're gonna come right back to that one. I need more time to answer it, and we're like 60 seconds here to a break. So, yeah, we'll get right back to it. But let me ask you something, Bella. Did you know? I won't get through this. You know what? We'll do the live read next. I can't, guys. We're at a break. Appreciate you guys sticking around. I understand we got a small crowd, man. I'm cool with it. I just like chatting up with you guys. Please give us 60 seconds. We will be right back. We got some new live reads from the sponsors. Gonna have some fun. That's a great question. We'll get right back to it, guys. 60 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Somebody said that I have to start putting chapters in, so we're going to be taking a break at 20 minutes so we can break up the show via 20-minute increments, so this just helps us. But let me ask you something, Bella. Did you know? Now I'm just wondering if you knew this. Did you know that many? By the way, guys, Belle has been chasing down sponsors for us because we don't get tips. We don't get tips anymore, so we have to go and get new sponsors. And did you know, Bella, that Minneapolis pork products have the least amount of arsenic out of any major brand of pork products? Did you know that?
I did not know that. Okay, please tell me more.
Why, certainly. Minneapolis pork products have also been recognized by the Better Business Bureau as the most humane pork products because they read poetry and have lute players on the slaughtering line. The pork is happy to fulfill their destinies.
Wow. I had no idea. That really is humane.
It is. Also, Belle, Minneapolis pork products, they name the hogs before they go in the blender. So if you are eating Minneapolis pork products, bacon, you can see that it was created from Penelope or Keith. It's right on the label.
Wow. It's like they're happy to become bacon.
They are. And who wouldn't want to become Minneapolis pork products bacon, the best bacon of all leading brands? And did you know, Belle, that they have a coupon code for members of the Podocasts?
They do? Wow, what is it? I would sure like to buy some bacon from Minneapolis pork products and save money while I do it.
Well, you know, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, Belle? It's easy. It's very easy. When you call, just say, hit me, you big silly ass, and you will receive 4% off of your entire order, Belle.
Wow, those are lip smacking savings right there. I can't wait to get some Minneapolis pork products.
I bet. You need to hurry, though, Belle. You got to run. Margaret just went down the line, and she was a good one.
Oh, okay. I'm going to hurry. Hurry.
Hey, Minneapolis pork products, the kinder, gentler processing house. Buy some right now, you big silly ass. And that's for Minneapolis pork products. You guys can see it right there. All right, Belle, why don't we actually get back? What were we talking about here? I don't even remember the question now. I was distracted by Minneapolis pork products.
All right. So the question came from AHIL1.
Okay.
The SEC is going after Adam. Is it going to recover and survive?
There is a lot to unpack around this, and I'm more than happy to unpack. I mean, Jesus, look at me. I'm dressed like a banker, so I seem like the type of person who should be discussing this right now, and I'm happy to. The SEC listed a whole bunch of big ecosystem tokens in their indictments, I guess, against Binance, Coinbase, Robinhood, everybody. I mean, they absolutely went after everybody. So is Adam just happened to get... Sorry, I wouldn't have sneezed there if I had Minneapolis pork products. Another round of applause, Val. You know,
the vitamins.
If it's the vitamins. Is Adam going to survive? Adam has a big problem, and unfortunately, the majority of the problems of Adam as the token is the Adam validators. And it's not that they're bad validators. They're fine validators. It's just that they don't care. All right? Apathy is every bit as dangerous to an ecosystem as just ignorance. Unfortunately, ignorance can actually be cured, and apathy simply can't. So one of the things, in my opinion, one of the biggest things that's holding this down is absolutely the Adam validators. I mean, that's all it is. Look, these are people that extract value from the chain every single day, 24/7, 365. They're generating Adam. They're getting a commission on every bit of Atom that is put out there. It's already an inflationary token. Less people are buying it now than used to. Robinhood dumped just a big gallop of it onto the market. They said they were going to, and they absolutely did. But regardless of the price of the token, they are still collecting their commission day in, day out, 24/7, 365. And you can actually track them down. We spend a little time sleuthing on there. Very few of them are actually holding the token, man. They take it, they liquidate it, they turn it into something else, and then they move along. The thing that needs that Atom needs, unfortunately, because it effectively does nothing, is they need more people buying it than selling it. That's it. That's Atom. So will it survive? If more people buy it than sell it, sure. But as far as value capture, it really doesn't have any, even though we try to spin it up. We say, yeah, but look at all the extra yield you get if you go through Stride and just put it out as liquid staking derivatives. Look at what you can do with this. It's magic internet money, man. All right, there is no additional value capture on that. It's just them putting, we're just generating more tokens, finding a way to wrap them a little bit differently, creating LSDs and going out there and putting the LSDs to work. So not only is Atom going to get hit simply from the staking percentage, simply from the bleed of the validators, but now it's also getting hit because then Stride's going to take that money. The raw Atom, they're going to give you a LSD version of it, and then they're going to take that Atom and invest it elsewhere. So when all of this happens, when you see Bitcoin doing what Bitcoin does, and you see Atom just tanking down right along with it, it's because these things are basically just leveraged to hell and gone. All right. Atom, for all intents and purposes, I'll fight out anybody with this. Come on the show. I'll go on your show. You bring friends, bring lots of friends, because I'm you're going to need the backup. But aside from the the amount of it, it's effectively a meme, man. More people have to buy it than sell it for Atom to go up. That's it. I can show this 1,000 different ways. There is simply not a lot of value capture on this token when you consider that it's like $2.5 billion. Used to be $3.2 billion about a week ago. All right. Strong fundamental tokens don't bleed off $700 million of value overnight. They just don't. All right, if they are sound investments, they might wobble, but they're not going to dump off 16%, 16 to 20% overnight. It simply won't happen. Now, that is more or less crypto in a nutshell, because everything is leveraged against everything else. So when one goes, they all go. I would love to say, you bet it's going to recover. It's going to be great. Everything's going to make it. I keep seeing these jagoff influencers telling you, oh, $100 by the end of the year. It's never been $100. It wasn't $100 at the best time of the market. So no, none of this is going to be true. More people have to buy it than sell it. There is no particular use case for it. They tried it with Atom 2.0. Even the validators couldn't agree. Even the apathetic validators couldn't agree and get that proposition passed. So what's going to happen to Atom? Whatever you want to happen to it. If you want to keep buying it, buy it. You're going to shore up the price, but you need to have more people buying it. I guess here's the better question. Here's the question, and I'll ask the audience. At what price would Atom be for you to sell it? Now, that's a very important question, because if you don't have a price, a high point, you say, if Atom hits this, I'm going to dump all of my Atom. If you don't have that, then you don't have an investment strategy. Right now, you are just kind of pissing into the wind and hoping for the best. You need an investment strategy. Now, if you can put a number on it, Atom will get to here, and then I will dump it. Then you are officially, sir, mercenary capital who exists to extract value from chains. You are one of us. You're one of me. You're one of Bell. You are one of us. There is no moral high ground when it comes to this. We are all looking for that point, that get out point, unless you are investing in products, because that's a whole different animal. That is a whole different animal. You don't need people to buy the token. You need people to use the products. Does this make sense? Or am I just way too idealistic here? I don't know. Hope that answered the question. I don't know if it did, but I hope it did. Belle, please carry on.
Follow up to that one from Makokada Streamwalker. And who would the SEC contact with regard to Atom? Too centralized?
Who are you going to contact? I mean, it's a fair question. Why don't they do it against Bitcoin? Why didn't the SEC go after Bitcoin? Oh, because who's Bitcoin? I'm Bitcoin. We're Bitcoin. It's like we're all going to put on our Guy Fawkes masks, and we're all just going to stand up there, and we're all going to raise our hand. I am Bitcoin. Who are you going to go after? That's kind of the thing. I mean, you can call it whatever the hell that you want, but who are you going to sue? Who are you going to take down? Are you going to go after the validators? Great. Who do they belong to? Who actually controls these things? And are you going to stop other validators from spinning up? This is DeFi, sir. And what happens out here happens the way it does for a particular reason. Now, it's pricey. It's expensive to have all those validators going and pay all these validators and devs that will endlessly build bridges to nowhere. You got to pay for all of that. It's pricey. But let's pretend right this very second that, sure, they come out and they say it's a security. Great. How are you going to enforce it? How come nobody asked that question? How come nobody ever asked that question? Bang. The SEC said Atom is a security. Great. Now enforce it. How are you going to do that? Who are you going to name in the suit? What entity are you going to slam to make them just, stop Atom? How? You got to understand, guys, that there's a difference between wishing for something and being able to enforce something. How can you enforce it in the DeFi? The only way that would work is if every single entity up there had their name on it and it all existed in the United States, and it doesn't. It doesn't. I am a VPN away from getting into anything in the world, and there's nothing the SEC can do to stop me. Nothing. This is just absolute ignorance that people even think something like this would be possible. They can go after Binance, and Binance will say, okay, bye-bye, U.S. They can go after Coinbase, and they'll do the same thing. Okay, bye-bye, U.S. You know, it's a great big world. If you want to drive all blockchain innovation completely out of the United States, keep doing what you're doing. And I promise you that it will leave. It will leave because money, write this part down, guys. Money will always go where it is treated best. Value will always go where it can accrue more value. That is the fundamental truth about money. So, yes, the SEC can shake their can of nickels, but there is no way they can enforce it. And it's just a little shocking to me that people don't talk about that. Belle, please carry on.
Black Tornado, I'm wishing for an immersive Myst-style game.
I would dig that, man. I really would. Look, guys, I do spend my time looking for blockchain games, dude. That's what I want to do. Most of them are card games, trading card games and stuff like that, and they're neat, but I'm not into it. And I understand how it's an easy fit into blockchain because NFTs. You know, look, all my cards are NFTs. I think that's cool. There's a way for me to show off my NFTs, play these card games and get out there and do it. But I'm not that into them. And the funny thing is that there's a couple really, really good ones. Like, you know, we're talking like not precisely Magic the Gathering, but along that. And it's a little bit, it's not surprising to me. It should be more surprising than it actually is. But none of these things are really covered. They're not really brought up by any of the big influencer people because they're products. And when you're talking about products are different than chains. They simply are. When you're talking about products, you have to bend the knee. The product has to bend the knee. The product has to change the way they're doing business to appeal to consumers. The product has to do all that. And there is so much hubris in this space that people simply cannot admit that they are wrong or even begin to admit that they need help with something. And when you build an app, guess what? You do need help with something. And you need help from a consumer. So it is incredibly hard for a space that has this kind of hubris for anybody to say, okay, now how do we make it better? We built the game. We built the platform. It was our vision. Now let's make it all of our vision. And people simply don't do that. I would love more than anything else. This is my dream. This is my dream, Belle, is to find a good enough game that we could get people from the podcast to play this game, and we will literally broadcast it as a tournament-style game, the way that you see it on some of these networks now. Belle and I will sit here and host. We'll sit here and host it. We'll do commentary on it. Oh, he played the Roaring Chicken card. Belle, did you see that? Oh, I'll put in sound effects. It'll be a ball. I would love to do something like that. And you're talking about a very young space that should encourage and adore something like that. But for some reason, it's simply not happening. It is not happening because people don't look at crypto this way. They look at it and they see Pepe, they see Doge, they see Lambos overnight. And they simply do, for some reason, the rationale isn't there for them. That not everybody's going to get that damn Lambo because we are all mercenary capital. We are all extracting value. So some are going to come out ahead and some are going to come out behind. Products. That's where we need to be. Products, super cool things. People tuning in to watch streams of the blockchain games. These big networks that can be built up around these things. That's what needs to happen, and we simply don't do it. We don't care. There is more than enough people out here to make something like that happen, and there seems to be no interest in it. So either the games suck or people just look at crypto so differently that they can't accept that you have to have products. Either it's one or the other. I don't know. Belle, carry on, please.
Gustav Smith, do you have an opinion about the AI investment algorithm? I saw a bit about ChatGPT-4 being used in that capacity.
Well, I got an opinion about everything, dude. You guys, how long you been watching me, Gustav? You know I got an opinion on damn near everything. The AI is not, if there is one market where AI would absolutely fail, I want to say that it would be the crypto market, because the crypto market is likely the most irrational market that I've ever traded in. And I've been trading in every kind of market for a long, long time, 25 plus years. I have traded in every market. I have never traded in a market that is as difficult as crypto. So AI, sure, you could try. Look, bots will work if you tune them up just right. But is AI suddenly going to be able to come in here and tell people and assume what people are thinking? It's basically impossible, because the people investing in this market right now don't even know what the hell they're investing in. So how is AI going to come in and try to solve this kind of irrationality? It'll just never happen. I wish him luck. I mean, I wish they did. If you show me the AI that is going to constantly have more money in my wallet day after day after day, I'll turn it all over to it, because I can't even do that. And I've been doing this a long time. And if I can't, but you can show me the machine that can, babe, I'm a big fan. I'll pay $8.99. That's value capture right there, Belle. I will pay the $8.99 or $89.99 a month or whatever you're going to charge. I will pay it, because you prove that it works, because it is a product that people will pay for. But more importantly, I want to invest in the product itself. I don't really need it to go out and make me money, but I would invest in that product because that is something that the world needs. I just don't believe it's going to work. We're coming up on the hard break, Belle. One more, and then we go. You are
All
muted.
right.
There you go.
Yeah, I was. But okay, we've actually got a couple of comments regarding our first sponsor, Strika, saying, okay, get more pork on your fork. Need me some Margaret.
You gotta have it, man. Margaret was a good one, dude. I met Margaret. She ate corn out of my hand and an apple out of my butt. I don't want to explain that one. It's use your own imagination there. Margaret was great, man, and she was great. And I'll tell you what, she's ready for you, dude. She's ready for you now. Carry on, Belle.
Black Tornado, herb was delicious, so Margaret will be succulent.
Herb, I didn't get any herb. I really will. We have to make up packages and send these things out, right? This is like with little kisses put little lips on the girl packs, and I don't know, a fist on the boy packs or something like that. We gotta do that. All right, Belle, we are at hard break. I hope you guys will stick around. We will be right back in 60 seconds. This is actually when I drink now. I've been getting a lot of emails. Scott, you drink too much. I guilty. All right, I plead the. Belle, ready? I plead the fifth of Jack. Hey-oh. There you go, with a round of applause. All right, guys, we'll be back 60 seconds. Please stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. All right, Belle, carry on. Where were we?
All right. So Makoka the Streamwalker talking about yet another sponsor he thinks we should bring on. We're getting recommendations for sponsors now.
Yeah, who's he got? Who's he thinking?
He's got Captain Crunchy's medieval armored chastity belts for Father's Day specifically.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. When you can't be there, Captain Crunchy will be. So that'd be nice, because then on Father's Day, I don't have to worry about becoming a grandfather. Another round of applause. Hey-oh, I'm just all over it. I've been a blacksmith. I've been an armor maker for, I don't know, 30 years. I never made a chastity belt. Nobody ever commissioned me one. But I'll tell you what, mine would be just truly devious. And yeah, I could do this. So somebody hit up Bell. You want to commission a chastity belt from Continental Armory. We are now Continental Armory. And yeah, man, I'll get that made. I think that would be great. We'll put a stamp on it. Chastity belts by Continental Armory. When you can't be there, Continental Armory will be. I think that'd be great. Bell, carry on.
All right, Strika. Everybody wants to get paid yesterday and don't have the patience to let the products with use case grow. They just extract value.
No, I mean, and that's absolutely correct, man. If you wanna get something going on Twitter, if you want to shut down every influencer out there, just ask that simple question: how does the product, how do your wild speculations get there? Give us a little context. And two, how do they generate value? And just watch the conversation will absolutely stop. Well, they do. Everybody knows this. That's it. As soon as they do that, they've just defaulted over to the rule of unanimity. And this is how you argue it, by the way. As soon as they say everybody knows this, that's the rule of unanimity. That's one of the 5 rules of propaganda that was coined by Joseph Goebbels. That was Hitler's Ministry of Propaganda. So your counter to that, as soon as they say everybody knows, it's like, yeah, oh, you mean like Goebbels? You mean like Hitler's Minister of Propaganda? So you agree with Hitler. That's also called a false analogy, guys. By the way, this is what I do. So, yeah, as soon as you go there, man, you just put the association in. You won the argument. Don't start with the Hitler. Don't go there right away, all right? You got to grease your way in. We actually have a video on here of how to argue with idiots, and that's... a lot of good information in that one. But no, you don't do that right away, man, because that's just pulling the pin and chucking the grenade. And you don't want to do that until you got an audience. All right. Until there are lots of people to watch it happen. Then you toss the grenade. Yeah, that's it, man. You want to get internet famous? That's how you get internet famous. And it really doesn't matter what it is. You can always go to Hitler. I like your haircut. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Hitler had a haircut just like that. Not saying, I'm just saying. Bell, carry on.
A-Hill1, I also believe that Robinhood will sell the assets it has delisted from its clients on the 26th of June if they have not already removed it themselves.
Absolutely. They said they would. Look, man, Robinhood doesn't want any trouble, all right? They really don't, and they are willing to bend the knee to the SEC. Any of these centralized exchanges are willing to bend their knee to the SEC because there's a name at the top. Right there on the masthead, there's somebody's name up there, and that's who the SEC is going to go after. How are you going to go after, maybe Solana? Solana's going to have some trouble too. But the truly decentralized chains, who are you going to sue? How are you going to enforce it? How are you going to enforce it? Again, look, get it trending. Any of you Twitter people, put it out there. How will you enforce it? Because there is effectively no way that you're going to. You will shake the market. You will make it drop. You'll do all of these things, but there's no way to enforce your actions. Wishing something and making something happen are wildly different things. You don't even have the power. The SEC is an enforcement, but they're not a regulatory agency. There is no regulation regarding this. This is the thing that's been holding up XRP for years and years and years. They are not a regulatory agency. They're an enforcement agency. So all you're enforcing right now are your whims. And a judge is going to see through this because, okay, let's go look at the regulations. Oh, they don't have any? Why don't you come back when they are actually defined? Get Congress to do it. Sit them down. They're really quick. Congress moves fast. Get them to sit down. Get them to determine and define a security. Then find the cryptos that fit in that, and those are the ones that you go after, but good luck. The DeFi exists for a reason. I do business in the DeFi for a reason. We all do business in the DeFi for a reason. Take it with a grain of salt. Belle, carry on, please.
Stephen Douglas, as far as I know, the podcast is the only entity talking about consumer apps. Can we develop a comprehensive list across all chains? Maybe the term will catch on.
No, I doubt it, man. Look, we've been... yeah, our channel has been doing what it's been doing over a period of years for exactly this reason, because we don't really just say what people want to hear. We say the truth, and we add context to it. People don't want to hear this, all right? They simply do not. Some do. They find us, and then it's the allegory of the cave. If you're not familiar with the allegory of the cave, it's in Plato's Republic. Don't pay to read Plato's Republic. It's available anywhere. It was written in like 400 BC. All right, so yeah, read the Allegory of the Cave by Plato's Republic. And if you read that and you understand it, then you will really, really, really start to understand crypto and why people see markets the way that they do, because they choose to. They will stay in their cave, they will build their own reality, and they will just find confirmation bias to support their beliefs. They will look for anything. And then, oh, look, here come the influencers that will absolutely give you confirmation bias on all of your misplaced and just incorrect beliefs. They will line up to tell you how right you are. And if you give them $8.99 a month, they'll even give you stock tips. They'll tell you what's going to... Look, if you were right on this, you wouldn't need to peddle it. I wouldn't need to get $8.99 out of 10,000 people if I could pick stocks, if I could pick cryptos, if I could do any of these things. You wouldn't have to pay me. I wouldn't need you. I wouldn't need you. That's another bit of reality. And you know what? The big thing is, God, if there's anything, I don't know if you guys can tell, I have a real problem with influencers. I have a shockingly violent attitude towards these guys. Metaphorically, guys. Come on, I'm a nice guy. Simply because people do not seem to understand. You don't need influencers, but they need you. But for some reason, you kiss their ass over and over and over. And it just makes me wonder, babe, what happened to you? What happened to you when you were young that you simply cannot see this? If you need help, Scott at ThePodocast.com, dude. I will take time out of my day to walk you from A to B to C. I'm not asking for anything, and I would certainly never tell you what to invest in, but I will give you a bit of reality and context on it. That's what we don't do. Nobody adds context. Atom will be $15. You bet it will. I could have easily just took that question. Will it recover? You bet your ass. You should buy more right now. That's what you should do. But did I answer the question that way? No, because it's not true. Because it's not true. I'm fine leaving us where we are. I'm fine with the channel being here as long as I can say whatever the hell I want to say. And you simply can't do. You cannot grow a big audience and speak truth. Not in crypto. There is just no way. Anyway, Belle, hope that I don't even remember the question. Carry on, please. You got me fired up. I'm fired up today. It must be the vest.
Makokata Streamwalker, was there any benefit to Ripple in the Heinemann emails which were released today?
Nah, man, all they were doing out there is, there was a lot of stuff, old things that he said. Well, no, we can't go after Ethereum. It's not a scary. I mean, it's just, it's all horseshit, man. There was no real there. I know people wanted to be excited about this, but there was really no clarity offered. People are allowed to change their viewpoints. All right, they do. I changed mine. A pragmatist. All right, I changed my opinion on a lot of things. I used to be a big fan of Osmosis. Now I don't own any Osmosis. I used to be a big fan of several tokens. Now I don't own them anymore. People can change their opinions. I'm not defending the him and email. I mean, not at all. But what somebody says in an email, man, look, this is not It's not what you think it is. They're looking for precedent. They're looking at, say he said this. That way it must be true. There was no real there. It's gonna have to come down to regulation, man. And until Congress actually enacts meaningful, understandable, clear regulation regarding this, it's just gonna go on and on and on. You know, the SEC is shaking their can of nickels saying pay us. That's what they're doing. And I think who did pay up? I think it was Kraken. Didn't they go after Kraken? Anybody who remembers that one? I remember somebody paid him out like $10 million. SEC came at him and we're gonna get you, and they just paid him off $10 million and it went away. And I think it was Kraken, because it's kind of funny that they go after Coinbase, that they go after Binance, but they didn't go after the other central exchanges that were out there. So I mean, I'm sorry, man. Look, this is mob tactics. That's all this is. Hey, this is a great place you have here. It would be a shame if something happened to it. They're shaking them down. This is a shakedown. That's all this is. They're shaking them down for protection money, and how it's so clear. Anybody who follows this stuff, and Bell and I have covered politics. God, how many years, Bell? How long did we do politics? I mean, what I'm saying is that there's a game plan. How long? I mean, it was 10, 15 years we were doing politics, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what I'm saying is there's a formula, and I know a shakedown when I see one. This is a shakedown, and it's a shakedown. Please, I'm going big screen here, guys. This is why it's a shakedown, all right? Because even the SEC has to know there is no meaningful way for them to enforce their edicts. They cannot do it. So if it's a hollowed threat, and that's all this is, because even the SEC has to know we can't enforce it. If all of this is what's happening, and this is precisely what is happening, then it's a shakedown. All right? Sometimes the absolute most obvious answer is the correct one. And in this case, that's what it is. They're going to want them to settle. They settled up, and I could swear, Bell, did anybody put it in? Who was it that settled it? Because I could swear it was KuCoin.
Nobody actually said who settled it, but Strika said they mentioned Cardano at one stage.
Yeah, and again, okay, how are you going to take down Cardano? How are you going to take down Adam? Who do you send the indictment to? I'm just saying. But no, I think it was KuCoin, and I'm pretty sure they paid him out the $10 million, and then shortly after they actually paid him out, they said, boy, we wish we wouldn't have done this. We should have litigated it. And now they did Binance, and they did Coinbase, and both of them are saying, right here, pal, all right, let's litigate. So I know we all want clarity on the XRP case, man. I don't see how you could possibly get clarity. Even if the judge comes out and says, fine, you're a security, XRP is going to come back and say, fine, okay, sure, appeal. This is going to be hung up for years and years because there is no clarity on what is a security when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Major banks use XRP. They do. And now you're talking about getting additional players into this. It's just going to be a mess. I mean, to hell and gone. And you got big banks that are knocking on the SEC store and saying, hey, not Ripple, all right? We actually use this thing. International money transfers, they use it. I can name you the banks that use it because the banks that do it publicly state that we do it. So you're talking about tons and tons of players, tons and tons of money, just a lot of stuff that goes on in this one. I'm saying is I'm not afraid.
Leanson just jumped in and said, yeah, Kraken paid the $10 million and then said that they shouldn't have paid and should have fought.
Yeah, it was Kraken. I'm sorry, I said KuCoin. It was Kraken, but you know what? It's the same goddamn thing. Yeah, look, isn't it funny that they go after both of the big dogs, but they ignored Kraken this time? You know why? Because Kraken paid the protection money. Kraken did. There will be an offer. This is how it'll play out. There will be an offer. They'll say Binance and Coinbase, they're gonna make them an offer. They're gonna pay millions of dollars just to make it go away. The SEC will say, fine, we're giving them 18 to 36 months to get their act together, and then it'll be forgotten. Guys, this is it. All right, this is the way it works now. Eventually, they're just going to drive you into pain because this is a beautiful place you got here. It would be a shame if something happened to it. We have seen this over and over and over, but it's a goddamn crypto goldfish memory that we think we've never seen it before. Bell, carry on.
All right, next coming in from AHA1, I believe Solana is talking about forking. I'm not sure how that's supposed to get them out of the SEC line of fire.
What good is forking going to do? Solana's a centralized, it's a centralized chain. You're going to fork. I get it. All right, because you want to try to spread this misery out. Not spread the misery. You want to spread out the responsibility. You guys built the chain. You built it a certain way, and you designed this thing to be centralized in nature. So yeah, I mean, you could try, but I don't get that one. And yeah, I've seen the discussion on that. You guys can barely run Solana. So you're going to fork it now? That's what you're going to do? That's going to make it all better? No, look, whatever you guys should have done, you didn't do. All right, and now that all eyes are upon you, there's that. I mean, you're acting like you could just fork this thing in a week and everything's going to be. Oh no, we're forked now. We're good. We're not really Solana anymore. Now we're decentralized. It doesn't work that way, and it certainly doesn't work that fast. There would be so many security holes in something like that, man. That would just be fun to just watch hackers go at it. Just another Solana thing. We could actually have a running tally, Bell, and we could put it right here on the screen. How many times Solana fork got hacked? How many? How much money got bled off of that? That would be great. Carry on, Bell.
Black Tornado, will use case crypto blockchain projects go out of business if their tokens go super low, or can they bounce back due to having companies use their product? Thinking of Jackal specifically.
Well, that's the fun thing about Jackal. Jackal will function regardless of the price of the token. All right, Jackal, if you want to purchase Jackal storage, it's $8. All right, and it doesn't matter how many tokens add up to $8. The price is $8. So Jackal will function regardless of the price of the token. The same way Orchid will function regardless of the price of the token. There's a reason that these things are put. That their pricing model is based around U.S. dollars. I mean, it's a fixed amount. So the token itself is irrelevant. You have to understand what the token does, what the function of the token is, not the fact that it's a currency and used to pay for a good or service. The token is to secure the decentralized nature of the chain. You have to have the token out there to pay validators, to pay storage providers, to pay all of these people, because we're not doing it for free. I'm a big storage provider. I have several. I mean, I'm a big storage provider on the chain. I believe in this. But the value of the token is irrelevant. All right. It's paid. It kicks the balls out of the storage providers because, yeah, trust me, I know this one. But for the cost of the product, just ask yourself, why is the cost of the product fixed? Why isn't it 800 Jackal? Why is it $8? Because that's the way it works. So Orchid is the same. I mean, Orchid is the same way. That's a VPN that I use, decentralized VPN. VPNs do nothing, by the way, guys. I mean, it's neat. It's the illusion of privacy and security, but it's really not. But there's a reason that these things are done at a fixed cost, because a real product is. Bell and I are developing, we're not developing, we're paying somebody to build it for us, but a private video conferencing app using Jackal as the underlying storage layer and using Leap Wallet, because Kepler 2.0 sucks, using Leap Wallet as the ID for this thing. So we're going to be out in beta in 2 weeks. Now, if you'd like to use it, you're more than welcome to. You're not going to be able to use the storage function, but you can use the conferencing function. All of that's going to be great. We're putting out consumer apps. You can beta test it. If you're part of the podcast Discord, that's where we will put it. You're welcome to use our video conferencing app. These are the types of things that need to be done. And if we ever get it to a point where we're going to actually publicly release it, the cost will be fixed in dollars. Period. You have to. We have to do it, man. You can't base an economic model on an unstable token. And if there's one thing that crypto is, it's unstable. So, yeah, I hope that answered the question. Bell, carry on, and we are at time.
Shep Dog, Scott looking lawyer-like tonight.
Lawyer-like, that's funny. I'm actually wearing fatigues underneath this, and my buddy Guy hit me up with that. He was down visiting me, or up visiting me. He's from Texas.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I was dressed like I'm dressed now, but I'm wearing fatigues down below, and my shirt is untucked, the white shirt, and it's kind of long. He said I look like the lawyer for the Taliban. I thought that was great. He said, all you need, dude, is a headdress, dude. You look like the lawyer for the Taliban. I thought that was fantastic, man. So, yeah, from here on up, Scott is banker and lawyer-like. From here down, they're fatigues. I'm wearing old fatigues. Bell, carry on.
Makokata Streamwalker. So Cosmos is mostly pointless now. What is the next universe for the show?
Well, I didn't say they're pointless. They need to be adjusted. I think that's really where it comes around. But the only thing that's going to be able to do this is sheer force of will, and you're going to have to get a whole lot of the cosmos. You're going to have to get a whole lot of the apathetic validators to actually come online and engage. You know, the funniest thing about it is that you got 100 validators on that chain, and when the propositions go up, even the validators don't all vote. And I would have to ask, if you are validating a chain and you don't vote on the propositions, I kind of makes me ask, what would you say you do here? Because apparently your job is to stand up a validator and just collect money and not give a fuck what happens on the chain that is paying you. Now, I've worked my entire life, and typically, if you want to get paid, you actually have to perform a service. One of the least minimum services that you're supposed to do is read propositions and vote the tokens that are delegated to you. You should at least have an opinion on it. You guys don't even pipe in. So, it would take a sheer force of will to really turn this thing around, and I just don't see it out here, man. Look, my money's going into dApps. That's all it is. My money is going into consumer chains. Jackal is a consumer chain. Cash is a consumer chain. Umi is a consumer chain. Orchid, consumer chain. This is where I'm putting my money because this is where I feel it is best served. I'm not telling you to. I don't give a damn what you do with your money. I didn't help you earn it. I'm not going to help you spend it. But most importantly, I don't need you to pump my bags. I simply don't. The product itself will pump my bags. The product that works will pump my bags. The fact that I'm building apps for these products will pump my bags. I don't need you to do it. So whether you invest or not is really irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter because, again, man, it's big picture kind of stuff. I don't even know what the question was. Belle, please carry on.
Strika, can you share what you're up to with Umi yet?
Nope, not my place. No. I'll just put it there. No, great question. Belle, carry on.
That was the last question for the night.
Fantastic. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this one tonight. Everybody needs a little reality check. This is our reality check. That's all it is. If you step back, get out of your cave, and consider what I talked about tonight. Consider where the theory that we're discussing here. I think you'll start to agree that there's a big problem. And this is a crypto as a whole problem. It's not a Cosmos problem, man. This is every problem. Look at it and think about it as a business. And consider if this is a business that you would run, that you would open the door, expect people to put money into your business, and you actually not do anything. Well, we don't sell products, but products are coming soon. So why don't you push the money into us, let us hold it for you until these products arrive, and when they do, it's going to be great. I just want you to think about that and think about if this is something that you would invest in the legacy world, because this is effectively crypto. If you see a problem with that, then please, for the love of God, take action. I'm not telling you how to fix it. I can show you how I did it, but I don't advise anybody do what I do because my risk tolerance is huge. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Going to turn it over to Belle. Please, ma'am, talk us up. Talk us out. I had a wonderful time, guys. Cheers.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us tonight, we can't say thank you enough. Keep those fantastic comments and questions coming. They do keep us on our toes. They do make us think. Now, we are going to be back on Thursday night at our normal time of 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and Thursday, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to Scott and I, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you guys enough, and we will see you on Thursday night.
are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most